Guardians of the Coast, the L-class blimps in World War II, a global conflict. The United States was thrust into the fight. The vast coastline became a vulnerability. The enemy lurked offshore. German U-boats prowled the depths. They threatened American ships. The Navy needed a solution. They needed eyes in the sky. They turned to an unlikely hero, the blimp. Specifically, the L-class blimp. These weren't your average parade balloons. They were tough. They were versatile. They were nicknamed flying gas bags. But they were effective. The L-class blimps were slow, but they were steady. They could stay aloft for hours. They had a bird's-eye view of the ocean. They could spot submarines lurking beneath the waves. Their primary mission was patrol. They escorted convoys. They hunted for enemy vessels. The L-class blimps were armed. They carried depth charges. These were deadly explosives. They could sink a submarine. The blimps were a vital part of the war effort. They saved countless lives. They helped secure the American coastline. The men of L8, duty calls on a summer day. August 16, 1942. A day like any other in California. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, but at Treasure Island Naval Station, duty called. Two men prepared for a routine patrol. They were the crew of the L8 blimp. Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody was the pilot. He was experienced. He was respected. He had a wife and a young daughter. He was a family man. Ensign Charles Adams was the co-pilot. He was younger than Cody. He was eager to prove himself. He was a rising star in the Navy. Their mission was simple: patrol the coastline, look for enemy submarines, report any sightings. It was a routine they had performed many times before. They were confident. They were prepared. They were ready. The L8 lifted off. It soared into the sky. The two men began their patrol. They scanned the ocean below. They were vigilant. They were alert. They were the first line of defense. Vanished. The last flight of L8. The L8 cruised along the California coast. Hours passed. The sun beat down. The ocean shimmered. Everything seemed normal. But then something strange happened. Witnesses on the ground saw the L8. It was drifting. It was low in the air. Something was wrong. This was not normal behavior. The airship was in trouble. Attempts to contact the L8 failed. The radio was silent. No one answered their calls. The blimp was a ghost. It drifted aimlessly. It was last seen heading out to sea. Concern turned to alarm. What happened to the L8? Where was the crew? Had they been attacked? Had they crashed? The Navy launched a search and rescue operation. They had to find the missing airmen. Ghost ship. The blimp returns, but where's the crew? Hours passed. The search continued. Hope began to dwindle. Then, a miracle happened. The L8 reappeared. It was spotted drifting towards the shore. It was near Daly City, California. The blimp made a bumpy but safe landing. It was a bizarre sight. The airship was unmanned. It was a ghost ship. The Navy secured the L8. They searched the gondola. They found no trace of the crew. Cody and Adams were gone. They had vanished without a trace. What they did find was even more baffling. The engines were still running. The radio was working. The life jackets were untouched. There were no signs of struggle, no signs of a fire, no signs of foul play. It was as if the crew had simply stepped out into thin air. Section 5, Searching for Answers, the official investigation and its limits. The Navy was baffled. They launched a full investigation. They wanted answers. What happened to Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams? They interviewed witnesses. They examined the L8. They reviewed flight records. They explored every possibility. The investigation hit a dead end. They found no evidence of mechanical failure. They found no evidence of enemy action. They found no evidence of anything. The crew's disappearance was a complete mystery. The official report was inconclusive. It stated that the reason for the disappearance of Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams was unknown. The Navy closed the case, but the mystery remained. Section 6, Whispers in the Wind, Theories about the Missing Airmen. The lack of answers fueled speculation. Theories about the fate of the L8's crew ran wild. Some theories were plausible, others were far-fetched. Some whispered of espionage. Had the crew been captured by enemy spies? Others blamed it on alien abduction. Had Cody and Adams been taken aboard a UFO? Some even suggested a mutiny. Had the two men turned on each other? One of the more grounded theories involved carbon monoxide poisoning. Could a leak in the engine have incapacitated the crew? Then perhaps they fell overboard unnoticed. Another theory suggested a sudden weather event, a rogue wave, a microburst, something that could have swept the men away. Despite all the theories, none could fully explain the strange events of that day. The mystery of the L8 continued to grip the public imagination. Section 7. Back in the skies. The L8 continues its watch. The L8 was repaired. It was returned to service. It continued to fly patrol missions along the coast. But it was never the same. The blimp carried with it an eerie aura. It was a constant reminder of the mystery it held. Some pilots refused to fly the L8. They claimed it was jinxed. They said it was haunted by the ghosts of Cody and Adams. The L8 continued to serve throughout the war. It flew hundreds of missions. It never encountered another incident like the one in 1942, but the shadow of that fateful day lingered. Section 8. An enduring enigma, the ghost blimp's place in history. The story of the L8 became a legend. It became a tale whispered among sailors and aviators. It was a reminder that even in the modern age, some mysteries defy explanation. The incident faded from public memory, but it was never forgotten. It became a popular subject for books, documentaries, and podcasts. The mystery of the ghost blimp continued to fascinate new generations. The L8 incident serves as a reminder. It reminds us of the sacrifices made by service members. It reminds us of the dangers they face. It reminds us that some questions may never have answers. Section 9. Conclusion: lost and found in the fog of time. The mystery of the ghost blimp remains unsolved. Did Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams meet a tragic end? Were they victims of a bizarre accident, or did something even stranger occur on that August day in 1942? We may never know. The L8 took its secrets to the grave. It was scrapped in 1945. But the legend lives on. It serves as a reminder that the skies, like the sea, hold their mysteries close. The ghost blimp story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life. It's a story about the unknown. It's a story that captures the imagination. It leaves us with more questions than answers. And sometimes that's the most intriguing part of all.